Hi, and welcome to our cooking show. I'm Heather. This is
Gavin.
And this is
Miles.
Today we're going to make a cookie bar for Passover. So this is actually not a cookie bar. So it's not actually a Passover recipe. This is a gluten-free recipe that I found on the internet. I can't take credit for it. And it's gluten-free. We're going to be using almond flour instead of regular flour. So it's just ground almonds. And it is also can be adapted to be parve and vegan. So we're going to start, but what's the first thing we have to do before we can do any baking?
I know, wash our hands.
All right, so we're going to pause the video so we can go wash our hands.
Pause.
Okay, we're back. So we are going to be making cookie bars today, and we're going to start with telling you what the ingredients are.
Oh.
So the first ingredient is almond flour. Then we're going to use some baking soda.
Woo.
Some sea salt, that's this bag right here.
Woo.
Some honey.
I love honey. Honey.
Some eggs.
Ooh.
Coconut oil.
Ooh.
Vanilla extract, that's that little bottle right there.
Whee!
The recipe calls for non-dairy milk. We're not making this parve, so we're going to use regular milk, but you can use almond milk or coconut milk or soy milk.
Yeah.
And chocolate chips. And then again, if you want to use the recipe and make it parve, you can use dark chocolate chips with no milk in it, and that would also make it vegan. And then the recipe calls for walnuts, but we're not going to use walnuts today.
I'll talk.
Okay.
So
So,
I need to say something.
but while you're talking, the first thing we're going to do is start mixing the dry ingredients in a big bowl.
Okay,
So we're going to measure out 2.5 cups of almond flour.
Mom.
All right, now you can start talking
That,
while we're measuring.
That my friend always watched the first time we did this. His name is Austin.
That's right, he did.
Yeah, and if you are watching this right live, I'll tell you.
We're not watching live.
It's not live, but go ahead.
I tell
That's
him,
1 cup of almond flour.
if you're watching right
Okay,
now,
I'm gonna measure out
I'll
the second
tell
cup.
you that good job. You did that good job,
Okay, second
and
cup.
watch this one.
So we're measuring out 2.5 cups of almond flour.
What can I do?
Okay, hold on 1 sec. Okay, you can dump that 1/2 cup in. So first we're mixing up the dry ingredients. Okay, so the next ingredient is baking soda, and we're using a teaspoon of baking soda.
Just a bill.
So you can open that up.
I'm opening a bill.
That might be a little hard just because I used like a clear plastic tape on it to keep
Why did you,
it so
Mom?
that we don't get any bugs in the pantry.
In the pantry? Why is it called a pantry?
Because that's where we store the dry things. So I'm going to rip this open just a little bit for the sake of time. Thank you for yelling in my ear. And I'm going to measure out 1 tablespoon of baking soda.
Can I do that? Because
Okay.
I know it.
Wait, I'm going to put it in here. And then you can dump that in. Okay. So that's baking soda we're putting in with the almond flour. And next we're going to use some sea salt. We're going to measure out a 1/2 of a teaspoon.
Sea salt looks like.
Sea salt is just like regular salt, only it's natural. And this is actually Himalayan pink salt, so it's pink.
Huh, interesting.
Okay, so you can dump that in. That's the sea salt.
Mom, what's next?
All right, so is that all the dry ingredients? Let's see. We've got
So.
the almond flour, the baking soda, the sea salt. Wet. I think that's all the dry ingredients.
No, but now
Right.
Okay.
can
So
I
you
do
can
the honey?
gently mix that
It says
bowl.
honey now.
That we're going to do the wet ingredients. So mix that for a second, and we're going to put that aside. And we're going to measure out the wet ingredients.
Can I do the honey?
So we did the almond flour. That's dry. The baking soda, the sea salt. First is the honey. So
Can I
Miles,
because I love honey. You
we're going to
know.
measure out 1/3 of a cup of honey.
It's so looking good.
Okay.
It steepens.
So Miles, we're going to pour that honey bare until we get to that line right there. So go ahead and pour it in. A little faster. Okay, we're going to lift that up.
Can I pour it
All
in?
right. So this is very sticky stuff.
Yes.
We're going to pour that into the empty bowl. That's the honey. Okay, and they'll give
It's
you a
also a good
spoon.
snack.
We like it with apples in our house. You can use the spoon to scrape it out.
Mom, can I have that with my dinner? Apples and honey?
Apples and honey for Rosh Hashanah, and it's Passover, but it's still appropriate, so we could.
Yeah,
right.
because I always love honey my whole life.
So the next thing we need are 2 eggs. So I'm going to crack 2
They're
eggs.
called eggs.
They are called eggs.
I know that I never did this before. Just a heads up, I never.
Yeah, we
did
have
this.
not used this recipe. This is our first time, so
And I'm really
it might
excited.
come out terrible. And if that's the case, then we just will not post this on YouTube.
Okay, so
All right, so we got 2 eggs.
you can.
Does this mean I'm a YouTube star?
You're gonna be a YouTube. I don't know about a star, but you'll be a YouTuber. Don't touch that, Miles.
Mom, do you
So I'm gonna
want
grab a fork.
Mom, wipe it came on me.
Here, grab the dish towel by the oven.
Okay, I'm
This is enough.
All right. So I'm gonna beat these eggs. Kind of how I sometimes want to beat my kids.
How do you
That's a
beat-
joke.
That's
Not really.
That's
I don't
not,
though. All right.
We're
You can
doing.
flip that over.
Well,
Okay.
he's doing that. Can I
Your
take the
hands are really
eggs
cool.
out?
So Miles, you're gonna put the eggs in with the honey
Can I?
carefully.
Can you take the spoon?
Okay.
Four.
Okay. So we're gonna pour the eggs in. Okay.
It looks amazing.
So the next ingredient
Yum,
is a
yum.
1/4 cup of coconut oil melted. So I melted it in a mug from my best friend's wedding. Look at that.
Oh,
We're gonna mix it in there. So that's coconut oil.
it looks. Look, I see through. I see.
And
the
next we're
onion
gonna measure
frosting
out
thing.
2 teaspoons of vanilla extract.
Ooh, I'll get the vanilla.
Okay.
I'm gonna do. It smells.
Like
It
vanilla.
smells stronger than it, it tastes very strong if you're not careful with it. So I'm gonna carefully measure 2 tablespoons.
Isn't the
I'm sorry,
tablespoon-
2 teaspoons of
Teaspoon.
vanilla extract. Did I say tablespoons?
Yeah.
You
Okay, so we
did.
want teaspoons.
Okay.
So that's 1.
Can I do the next one?
1 sec. Okay, you could dump that. Excellent.
I didn't alright. It
Alright.
doesn't matter which spot, just to let you know.
All right. So we're going to gently mix that up a little bit. Okay, now we're going to add a tablespoon of milk. And again, if you want to make this vegan, you could add some kind of vegan milk. And that would also make it
milk
parve.
you want, right?
Any milk you want. We're using regular milk.
Yeah.
1
because-
tablespoon of milk.
Yeah, that.
Okay.
This looks so cool. This is coming out very good.
Wait,
I
who
think
made
it's
this?
gonna.
Like,
So
where did you
I
find
found this recipe online and I tried to look back to find it because I printed it and I just kind of copied and pasted it and I could not find where it came from. So I apologize to the person who wrote this recipe.
Shout out to
I'm-
the person that wrote this recipe.
Yeah, I'm not taking credit for it. I'm just taking
We're
credit for
very
making it right
sorry
now.
to if the person who made that dessert. I would really say we're sorry, but we just want to make
thank
it
you, we'll say. All right, so we're going to double check to make sure we've used our dry ingredients and our wet ingredients. We've got the almond flour, baking soda, yes, sea salt, honey, eggs, coconut oil, vanilla extract, non-dairy milk. So,
And
we've got-
walnuts, but we're not.
and we're not using the walnuts. So in the large mixing bowl, we mixed the dry ingredients.
Can I pour that?
Okay. And what we're going to do
Can you take
is
this
we're
out?
going to add, just 1 second, buddy. We're going to add the wet ingredients to the dry ingredients, and we're going to mix it with a mixer.
Mom, can
So
you-
we're going to add it together, and then I'm going to pause the
Mom,
camera
Mama.
while we mix. Hold on 1 sec. I'm going to get a bigger bowl.
Okay, we're gonna dump them both into a bigger bowl at once. Ooh, I can do that. I can
Okay.
do this. I
So
can.
first, we're going to
I
put,
dumped the wet ingredients.
I'm going to have you put the dry ingredients in the big bowl, please. Wait. Okay, good. First, Gavin, dry ingredients in the big bowl.
And then I'll do the wet.
Okay, and
Can
then
you
Miles.
take this spoon out?
Okay,
So it will,
you can carefully make sure you get it all in there because you know what to spill.
It looks
Okay.
yummy, yummy,
It
yum.
doesn't look yummy just yet, but it will. All right, so I'm going to pause the camera because you don't need to listen to my mixer. And for 2 minutes, I'm going to mix this with a hand mixer.
And
All
then
right, so we're going to
it's-
pause this camera.
Pause it?
Okay.
All right, so we're back. We just used the hand mixer for about 2 minutes, and we have a really beautiful batter here.
Ooh, it looks so gorgeous.
And so before
It
we put it in the
smells good.
pan, we're going to add some chocolate chips.
Can I
The
do
recipe, yep, hold on. The recipe calls for 3/4 of a cup of chocolate chips. And again, if you want to make it vegan and parve, you
You
can
could use
use
different chocolate chips.
you can use dark
Yeah.
chocolate, dairy-free.
Can I?
These are milk chocolate, and it calls for 3/4 a cup. I probably have about a cup of chocolate chips left in the
I
bag.
just want to give a little bit.
And I think Miles is going to do a taste test just to make sure that they're non-poisonous chocolate chips.
Can I pour?
All right, so we're just going to pour the whole thing in just because I probably have just a
Wait,
little
one
bit
sec.
more than is necessary, but why not?
It's extra good with chocolate.
Yeah, oh, you know what? That might have been even more than a cup, but that's okay.
It's extra good with chocolate, guys.
So we're folding the chocolate chips in.
Extra chocolatey good.
And suddenly it smells extra chocolatey good, according to Miles. All right, and so what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this in a baking pan. We're just gonna spray it with some spray to keep it from sticking.
I'll do the spray. Cooking spray.
Okay.
I'll do the cooking spray.
Give the cooking spray a little shake. Take the top off.
Okay.
All right, make
see
sure it's
everyone
facing your
no.
face.
Okay.
And if it's facing your face, that would make it really kind of funny on video. Ready?
Okay, I'll do it. I said I'll do it.
We're doing it together. Thank
I'll
you.
do it. I'll try doing it a little bit.
Perfect. Let go, let go, let go. That's more than enough. That's
Yeah.
enough cooking spray.
Extra clean.
Extra sticky.
Extra
non-sticky, I guess.
non-sticky, I guess.
Yeah. All right. So we are going to pour the batter into the bowl.
Whoa.
And then, Gavin, look at the recipe and what's the temperature that we're going to bake it at?
350 Fahrenheit,
All
which
right.
is pretty hot.
I'm gonna open
That's
up.
pretty average. You're not going to open the oven. You're going to walk away from the oven.
Sorry. But what can I do right now?
You can tell our audience that we're going to put these in the oven at 350 degrees.
We're gonna put it's a message from me. So right now, while they're doing it, we're gonna bake it
350 degrees.
350 degrees.
100 degrees will not get it very cooked.
Yeah.
And then we'll have raw eggs, and salmonella does not taste all that good.
No.
So we're going to put this in the pan.
I'll
We're going to spread it down.
Gavin, would you like to?
And when it comes out, it's going to be kind of like a cookie bar, hopefully, because again, we have not made this recipe just yet. But I think it looks really good.
Yeah, it does. Goodness.
All right, so we will check back in after this bakes,
So tight, punch enough.
and we'll put it in the oven.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Well, we're back.
Hi.
This smells delicious, and it baked for about 20 minutes, and we're ready to taste it. We let it cool off a little bit. It smells so good. So let's see how it is. Ready?
I can't wait to eat it, Mom.
I know, me too.
It looks even more delicious. It looks even more delicious than it was before.
It looks really good. It looks very chocolatey.
Yeah, because we put too much chocolate chips.
How is it, Gavin?
Yeah, it was really, really good.
All right, let's see. Ready? That is not bad at all. That is really yummy.
It's amazing.
And the bonus part is that it doesn't taste like a Passover dish because it doesn't have matzo meal in it.
Yeah.
All right.
It's not.
Should we make this again, guys?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Can we say Happy Passover?
Happy
Happy Passover!